cheat the system. Here's the next story. More than 1/3 of white students lie about their race on college applications, a new survey finds. We'll get into this. I saw this and immediately I was like, good for you, white boy. It is white boy summer after all, because you've learned what to do with this college application affirmative action BS that they're trying to push on people. This reads, a survey from Intelligent found that 34% of white students who applied to college and universities falsely claimed they were a racial minority on their application. The publication found that 81% of students who faked minority status did so to improve their chances of getting accepted. 50% of students who lied said they did it to get minority-focused financial aid. Most students, 48%, claimed to be Native American on their application. 13% falsely marked that they were Latino, and 10% falsely claimed to be Black. 9% of those surveys lied that they were Asian or Pacific Islander. And to that, I say good for you. I know people say, well, a lie is a lie. It's not good. But when you've been forced into this oppressive system that completely devalues all the work you've done in the education system for what? 12, 13 years of your life now that you've slaved away in this education system with the hope and sometimes the promise of being able to pursue higher education. And suddenly they go, I know you did all that work. I know you have a perfect SAT score. I know you're in all these extracurriculars that you worked on to make yourself well-rounded. I know you started all these clubs and did all these things for your school and your community. I know you went and volunteered and did all that, but you're white. It's not working for me. I need you to go hit a tanning bed for 15 hours and come back to me and claim to be a different race in order to get into college. And the fact that white students feel the need to do this should be a massive red flag for everybody working in higher education, for everybody who has their hand in a hat that is making these decisions surrounding affirmative action. Because you forced people's hand on this. Is a white kid gonna go, I know it's racist and everything, and I know you're discriminating and everything, but I guess I'll mark white anyways and I just won't go to college? No. They're going to cheat the system and they're going to say, you know what? I am a Black, transgender, disabled 5-year-old so that I can get into college and I can go to Harvard. And odds are you put that down on an application and write your essay about it and you are in Harvard, you are in Yale, you are admitted into Cornell, you are admitted into Penn State. So what does that say about our college system, that not only are people doing this, but it works? It says here in the article, for the most part, Intelligent found that these white students tend to get away with their lies. About 3 in 4, or 77% of white applicants who faked minority status on their applications were accepted to those colleges. So what they've done is they've done you a favor by lying and pointing this out, because clearly they're meeting the academic standards, or whatever standards you've claimed that Black and Latino and Asian kids need to have to get into these colleges. Why anybody would lie and say they're Asian is beyond me, because we both know they're getting the shortest stick when it comes to this game. Asians meet every single possible marker that you can meet academically, socially, club-wise, extracurricular, volunteer activity-wise, and they're still not getting into the colleges that they deserve to be going to. So why any white person would lie, maybe they're just taking on a new challenge.
Well, also, how are we even saying that it's a lie when truth is subjective? That's their truth.
There we go.
And don't be a bigot and say that their truth is not truth. We just did an episode this past week on transracialism. And if you identify as another race, then in the new world of subjective truth and you living your truth, how can anyone take that away from you? If that's what makes you happy to be that other race, then you want to identify that way. According to the logic that's taught at these universities,
Taylor.
And how could you say that they're lying?
Checkmate. You sound like me 4 years ago. That's beautiful. Elizabeth Warren certainly did it, because she's a Native American, right, guys?
Exactly.
That white lady's a Native American. So I just love this. I just love that this is just like a checkmate moment. Gotcha. You tried to rig something against us, and guess what? We fought it, and now we're on the other side of it. And I also love that they got away with it. Nobody was like, you don't really look Latino. You don't really look Asian. You don't really look Black. Because you can't say that. Once you're of minority status, nobody can say anything to you. Have you seen, I think it was oh, my boyfriend sent this to me. I don't know if it was like South Park. No, I think it was like American Dad or something like that. And this woman's like, she's like watching porn at the counter of a bar, and the bartender's like, excuse me, ma'am, you can't be watching that. And she's like, I'm transgender. He's like, oh, carry on.
Yeah, that's about where we are in society today.
That's really where we are. Like, I could go out into the street and do anything right now. I could literally go and like slap a white woman across the face, and then she'd call the police, and I'd be like, I'm black. And they'd be like, carry on, miss. In fact, would you like to slap me really quickly before you go? That's how it is. So the fact that white kids are, taking that back and going, you know what, I'm going to stand up to this and I'm going to do something about it, and no one's ever going to be the wiser because they don't check enough anyways. I honestly imagine that people looking through in these admissions offices just literally look at race and then go, you're accepted, you're accepted, you're accepted, you're accepted. And that's why this is allowed to happen. So they pointed out a flaw in your system, and they pointed out the most tremendous flaw is that your system is racist.
White Boy Summer is off to a good start.
White Boy Summer. Chet Hanks would be
he would be
laughing his ass
all
off.
over this. But hey, this is what I say all the time: chestnut checkers. This is what that means.
This
chestnut
is chestnut checkers.
You know, turn their game on itself.
Yeah, when your reality gets flipped upside down and somebody, like Taylor likes to say, is peeing on you and calling it rain, you find a way to put the pee back on them.
That was a great, yeah.
I think it works.
It works.
I think you guys understand it. You guys get it. Find a way.